Fucking brr. It's got cold, people. We are now... I've not been out of the door for 30 seconds and you've got some old fella on a bike nearly running me off the road. Not a swear word was shared with anybody. And there's the second one, not really knowing how to ride on the second, on the right side of the road. Well, there you go, Tuesday morning. It's where the old people start to come out when the workers have gone to work. Yep, it's got cold. When I say it's got cold in the Japanese sense. Autumn's here, fall's here, Aki is here, whichever language you're speaking in. And on Friday here, it were 38 degrees. Fucking glorious, absolutely glorious. And then as if by magic, on Saturday night, this big rain front came over from China with the wind blowing down from Siberia, killed 10 people in Ishikawa, Noto Prefecture, and it's cooled the whole country down. It's cooled the whole country down. We dropped 18 degrees over a weekend. So before I left the house, it was 20 degrees. 20 degrees, believe it or not. I mean, my wife is loving it. She said, oh, it's the perfect weather. Nah, I prefer it hot and sweaty. You sweat more, you feel like you've exercised more doing the same stuff that you normally do. Yeah, it's not my bag, this colder weather. Anyway, it's not what I'm here to talk about today. What I'm here to talk about today is my little mini retirement that I had this weekend. Now, just to preface this, every night during the summer, if I'm home and it's a reasonable hour, I've usually got a bit of time off during sunset. So what I do is I'll go down to the beach and I'll walk backwards and forwards on the beach. It takes about 30 minutes. You set off at one end of the beach, you walk to the other and you walk back. It's a 30-minute walk. Shoes and socks off. You can feel the sand under your feet. It just gives a little bit. You get some of that salt water on your feet and on your legs just to ease off the exercise of the day. It's great. It's a great way to relax. And with the exercise that I do during the day and with the little relaxing walk at the end of the day, you are sleeping like a baby by the time you get home, and it's great. Now last Tuesday, I was doing this and I got to one end of the beach and I saw a friend. I mean, we were living in each other's pockets about 10 years ago, not even 10 years, 15 years ago. And I don't see him from one year to the next. Now, 6 years ago, when I met him, it was outside the supermarket in Zushi. And he said to me then, fuck this, 2 years time, I'm going to retire and spend the rest of my days on a golf course. Now this was 6 years ago. So it would have been 46, 46, so he was retiring at 48. I then saw him possibly around the 2 year mark after that, so 4 years ago. Same again, 2 years from now, fucking golf course, that's it, me done. Now I saw him on Tuesday, and we're talking a full 4 years after I saw him the first time. Exact same thing. Fuck this, I'm retiring, I'm going to spend the rest of my days on a golf course 2 years from now. So his 2-year plan is now turned into a 6-year plan, and I'm kind of wondering, I don't think he's ever going to pull the trigger. Now, I'm telling you this story because a lot of people are working their entire lives just to get to that retirement age, and then just give up the ghost and then do what you want to do. Now, I'm speaking from a 53-year-old perspective. Now, would it be nice to retire? It would be. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Now, I have had a 4-day retirement this week, and I had Friday off. Yesterday were a national holiday, and Saturday and Sunday were off as well. So I did work, but I wasn't chasing my tail like I normally do. I did have work, but it was kind of like a, what can I say? It was like a part-time job. I wasn't working stupidly. So on Friday, I didn't have to work. I did an hour in the morning, 5:30 to 6:30, and then in the evening I wasn't working again until 5:30 at night. So I had all this stuff planned out for the weekend, what I was going to do. Finish that job at 6:30, cycling, home, kettlebells, bit of planning for this week, and then I'm straight into my work at 5:30 at night for a couple of hours. That were it, all planned out. And I sort of stuck with it. But on a normal Friday, I'm usually up in Tokyo from, well, I'm out of the door at 7 and I'm not back till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So that's 8 hours I'm out at door. In that 8 hours I am very busy. I don't just sit on train, I get shit done on train, and also I've got my work in Tokyo. So I'm busy. I ain't got time to be sitting about doing nothing. I've got shit to do. Now, I had a full 7 hours on last Friday where I had nothing to do. Now, I am a faster. Now, how can you tell that people who are fasting fast? Well, within 2 minutes of meeting them, they'll fucking tell you. But if you've listened to this podcast long enough, you know that I fast. So I don't usually eat until I get home. Now, I'm getting home between 3 and 3:30, so I don't have my first meal until then. So I finish my cycling, I finish my kettlebells, and then it's 11:30, and I'm just twiddling my thumbs. I'm working, but in the back of my mind, because I'm working at home and I'm not on a deadline, at the back of my mind there's that little voice going, eat something, just fucking eat something, go on, you're hungry, eat something. Just like a little tickle at the back of your throat. You know it's there, but you can't really ignore it. It's like, eat something, go on, eat something. And it got to 12, I thought, let's go to 1. And then by 12, I'm eating. Now, I'm not eating bullshit. So what I break my fast with, I've got some buckwheat flakes, blueberries, raspberries, chopped banana and full fat milk. Now you've got to let the milk absorb into these buckwheat flakes to get them down. Otherwise you're going to have a right job on, because they're crunchy and they get stuck in your teeth. But if you let them suck up the milk for like 15 minutes, you're good to go. It's a great meal to break your fast with. A lot of protein, some carbs, a great way to break your fast. But I'd broken the routine. It were only slightly, I wasn't breaking it with junk food, but I'd not let my body had not gone into ketosis because I'd only had a 16-hour fast. And you might be thinking, well, that's not too bad, but this was the start of the mini collapse in my mini retirement. This is just me having a look behind the curtain of retirement. So I have that, and it sort of satiated me a bit, and I got on with a bit of work, which I would normally do. So I'm thinking to myself, well, all you've done really is you've just brought your fast 3 hours forward. That's the only thing you've broken. What I would usually do then is when I come home, I would do the work online from 5:30 to 6:30, and then I finish off the day with some chicken, three scrambled eggs, kimchi, and a little bit of rice with some seaweed. And that's what I'm eating every day, but I'm eating it at that certain time. Now again, I did my work, and then that little voice come back. Is that all you're having? Is that all you're having? Is that all you want? Is that all you want? Is that all you're having? I'm like thinking, fucking hell. So I'm backwards and forwards at fridge. Now admittedly, I'm eating kimchi and a bit of rice and some seaweed. I made a kimchi rice ball. So it were all pretty, well, it were all very healthy. But I wasn't sticking to my normal schedule. Anyway, I finished the day up without eating any junk food, went to bed. Now on the Saturday, as you all know, I do weddings. I've got a wedding in the morning in Hayama, which is a 15-minute cycle, and then I've got a wedding in the afternoon in Chigasaki, which is like a 45-minute train ride and a 15-minute walk. So I thought, right, I'm going to go to bed, I'm going to get up in the morning, I'll do some kettlebells, do the wedding, come back, and then I'll go on train to my second wedding. So this is second day into my little mini retirement. I get up, I do my stretching. My stretching is bone deep now. I've got to do that every day. That gets done. There's no questions, that has to get done. I've seen the way that my dad's walking, the way he's bent over, and he never stretched. So that sort of gives me the enthusiasm to stretch every day. So I did my stretching, I sat down, and then I started to do some work in preparation for this week. Again, that fucking voice is back. You know, you've got a wedding at 11, but are you not going to eat until after then? You're hungry now. Look at you, you're hungry now. So this voice is banging on in my head. You know, you're hungry, have a day off, you're hungry now. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ. So I just went out for a walk. Couldn't work, I just went out for a walk just to keep myself busy. Come back. It's about 8:30. The voice is back again. And I thought, fuck it. And again, I didn't have anything that were unhealthy. Buckwheat flakes again, blueberries, the same as yesterday. But now I'm eating at 8:30. Crazy. I've not done that in about 6 months. So I eat, I go and perform the first wedding, and I come back around 12. Now I was going to get on train, and you've got to think on, I've done no exercise now. I was supposed to do the kettlebells, not done them. I wasn't supposed to eat, I've eaten. And the chapel is 3/4 of an hour down coast. And I thought, fuck it, I can't, if I don't do something now, I'm going to be eating on train. I'm going to be eating before I go. So what I did was I got all the stuff that I needed for the wedding. I put it in my bike panniers and I cycled to the next venue. I got there, I was sweaty as hell, but I got a load of wet tissues and just rubbed myself down and did the second wedding. But again, I arrived early because I set off early so I wouldn't eat. Arrived early, got there, we're all ready to go. I've got an hour. You know, I went to the convenience store for some tomato pretz. Now, tomato pretz, they're not unhealthy, there's no sugar in them, but they're not health food. And there I am chowing down on these pretz, and I know what I'm doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. And I'm still doing it. So, finished the wedding, cycle home. Now, I did cycle for 28 miles, which is always, that's in the plus bank. But then I got home, shit shower, shave, shampoo, and I'm on couch. I'm trying to get back to work because I thought I'll have my eggs and my chicken later. Here comes the voice. Have something now, have something now, have something now, have something now. So I just started eating at about 7 o'clock, and I were eating for about an hour and a half, and I were eating bullshit. My wife had bought some Oreos. I destroyed a few of them. The kid came home. We started watching Brighton game? No, it was Manchester United game. Manchester United Southampton. Watching that game, he'd got some crisps, some potato chips. Got a couple of bags. We fucking ploughed through them, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? And then again, I've not done kettlebells. So I'm eating when I shouldn't be eating, although it were healthy. And then at night, I'm eating bullshit, and I've not done my kettlebells. So I'm gradually slipping into bad habits when I've only been off a couple of days. And then Sunday comes round. Now, on the Sunday, I've thought I've got to rein this shit in. So on the Sunday, I've got work at about 9:30 till 11:30. I thought, right, whatever you do, don't fucking eat. I thought I'll do kettlebells, didn't do kettlebells. And this was Sunday where it had been pissing it down, when it started to cool down. So I didn't really want to go out for a cycle before I were working. So I just white knuckled it at home. Have something to eat, have something to eat. That fucking voice is back. Anyway, I didn't. I got to the place where I was working. I put in an hour and 3/4 work, and then I come home and I ate healthy. I dragged myself out for a cycle, but I didn't do the kettlebells. I was too tired. I didn't have any energy at all to do anything, and it's because I'd eaten all this bullshit. So again, we get to the night, and I did reasonably well. I just kept with the buckwheat flakes. I didn't have any chicken or kimchi or anything like that. I just stuck with it. But again, if you look back to what I'm normally doing, I'm slipping again. So Monday, day off Monday. You've got to factor in all this. Is I've not even put a podcast out. I'm supposed to be putting a podcast out as well. That's why I'm late, because I'd slipped in to this laziness. So yesterday, I thought, fuck this. Got up, got out, cycled, got home, banged some workout really quickly. that voice I just told to shut the fuck up, because I can't listen to it. I knew I were back at it today, so I just switched that side of my brain off. It were there. Go on, have something to fucking eat, have something to eat. Went out, cycled, got back, kettlebelled, which I'd not done. I'd had 2 days off from that, and I've not had 2 days off from kettlebells since I can't remember. I was disappointed with myself. Totally disappointed with myself. Now, so I got back from the cycle, threw some kettlebells about. Because it's not as hot as it was a couple of days before, I'm not sweating as much. So that's added in. You useless fucker. This is my negative self talking to me. So, last night, I sorted everything out. I ate yogurt before my eating window had shut. I had an eating window of 6 hours yesterday, rather than the 14 I had on Saturday. And I knew that I had to get it back for today. But who knows, if I were a retired man, I mean, my dad retired at 52, a year younger than I am now. And I don't know how he did it. I don't know how he did it healthily, because I have a job on when I've got a length of time off and I've got nothing to do. I eat. I fall into my old ways. I don't exercise like I should. So retirement for me, even if I had the money, it's never going to be an option. Until my body says one day, right, you can fucking stop this bullshit now, we're having a rest. I think that's the only way I'm going to be able to stop. Now, if you've seen many times where I live, I mean, the weather's not so good today. It's a bit... Let me just put this up. I'm just turning and burning. I mean, the weather's not so good today, but if I was to retire, it would be a lot easier to retire in Japan. Because even if you're working at a terrible job, you've got this to go out to when you go for a cycle. I've got my palm trees, I've got the beach, I've got the sea, all stuff that Bradford certainly has not got to offer. So it would be easy to retire here, but what I'm saying is, it's, you know, the devil makes work for idle hands. And my fucking hands were mostly in the kitchen this last 3 days. So what I'm saying is, all them that are my age or a little bit older looking forward to your retirement, just be wary. Just be wary. Find yourself an hobby. Find yourself some part-time work, because I have got to work until I'm in my mid to late 70s now, otherwise I'm probably going to get incredibly fat and incredibly unhealthy. And like I said before, that was just a little peek behind the curtain into what retirement has to offer me. I sort of fell from grace extremely quickly. When I don't have to do out, I don't fucking do it. But when I've got myself on a schedule, I'm fine. So that's my 2 penneth. If you need any work from me, you know I'm going to be here for at least another 25 years. And hopefully I can try stay as healthy as I can by carrying on working. So I'm going to carry on with this ride through to Yokosuka. I'm going to go home, I'm going to throw some kettlebells about, and I'm going to break my fast at around 3 o'clock. with some buckwheat flakes, kimchi, all the good stuff. And thank Christ I'm able to snap it back, because back in the 90s I didn't have the fucking willpower to do it, and that's why I found myself at 17.5 stone delivering crisps in the northeast of England. About 3 times a day I'd go into back at Wagon, kick a box of crisps in and just nick a couple of packets and chow down on them. That is no longer, thank Christ. So I've killed the lazy bastard in me. I'm back to posting podcasts on a Tuesday. Fuck, I don't like that other fella, but this fella's back now. As I turn my camera back towards me, this fella here is back now. Hiya. And hopefully he's going to be with us a bit longer. Well, at least until Christmas, when I've got a month off there. Fucking hell. God knows how much I'm going to weigh then. So I'll see you when I see you, everybody. Thank you very much. Episode 161. Keep on downloading. Adios.